Woo. Oh, the bike is so beautiful. Let's just film the bike.
And I've got my cot in the tent, and I hope to God she's gonna fit there.
Drinking out the bottle, not thinking about tomorrow. Don't worry, that's a motto. So we keep moving along.
Well, greetings out there, YouTube land. All you YouTube people, we're back again. And today we're on just an overnighter trip, overnight camping trip. And it's really more of a test run than anything, but we got something special planned for you. And if you were watching the last episode, there was already kind of told you what that was going to be. So you'll have to either wait and see, or you're going to have to go back and watch the last episode. So here we are. We are on our way to a small town called Park Hill, Ontario. It's about a 3-hour ride from home, so not too huge of a ride. And the weather is cloudy and a bit cool. And part of that is because of all the huge forest fires that are raging right now across Ontario and Quebec. So as you can see, I got the Android working, at least part of it. I still can't get the Spotify to work. And one thing I've noticed about it though, it was just a pain to get it going even when I knew what to do. But I finally got it going after about 4 or 5 tries, turning the bike off and on, resetting. It's a real pain the way they've got it set up. Like, they need to work on it more. They need to get it better. But anyway, it doesn't show me how much gas I have, which doesn't help. It covers that up. And it's kind of difficult to switch between this screen and back to the default screen, the tour mode screen or whatever, which shows you that information. So that's kind of a drawback on it, but at least I'm trying for the first time to actually use the navigation. And that really was the main reason. I just wanted to get it working. I bought a headset and everything just so I could get that going. So there we are, and we've got it working. Alright, so here's the new road that I don't think I've ever taken down this way. I usually go to Highway 6 and go down. But even Google Maps suggested old Glenelg Road 23. Let's hope it's in good shape and not gravel or all chewed up or anything. Looks pretty nice so far. It's got a nice little valley we're starting out with to go through. Everything paved so far. I would assume it's paved. Going through the hills and valleys, southern Grey Bruce. Alright, well, we're just stopping for a little bit of a break here. Hope that bike's not leaning too much. It's a bit of a slopey spot, but what can you do? Maybe I can find a stick or something to put under it. Anyway, so yeah, this is how I packed the bike. It actually is a lot leaner than my normal setup, where I had the top box and the bag in front of it. But you see, with the top box, it's hard to put the tents on unless you put them like you strap them on top of the top the panniers or something like that, and then you have like even more luggage all over the place. So by taking the top box off, I can put all kinds of junk in the dry bag, all the camping stuff and things like that. But the long stuff that you can't fit in, like the tent and the chair, I managed to kind of squish that on top. I hope I'm not squishing it too tight. I guess we're going to find out. I don't want to bend any poles or anything, but anyway, that's the way I'm doing it. So see, now I have room for passenger, and hopefully have enough to do some basic camping. So we're heading out of Mount Forest, going west now. A lot of country road. We're moving on down. It was a good little burger there, Scott's Burger in Mount Forest. It's not bad at all. And now the good old town of Harriston. Coming into Harriston, where the yard sales are abound aplenty. Here we are on the open road, crossing the farmlands. There's a lot of this going down this way when you head down towards London. A lot of open fields and farmlands, big long straight roads. Probably not the greatest biking area, but hey, at least you're in the country and you're cruising along. Traffic ain't bad. Coming through the great farm town of Mitchell. There's a nice little river we'll be crossing here. Let's see what the bridge looks like. Oh yeah. Can I go? I guess I could go. Alright. You know me, lots of grunting and groaning, but I get her done. That's the big famous Mitchell Bridge. There's a dam there. A little park, but we've already stopped enough. And I was supposed to go down there. Whoa, Bessie. Whoa. Ooh. I saved it. Saved it. Wow. Almost lost Kaninski out the back, but we saved her. Nah, just kidding. She was alright. Lady with dog. Well, this looks like the spot. I just found it on Google Maps. It's just a private campground, but I guess we shall see. We just need one night anyway. Enter on the right. Yeah, that's where we're going. I don't know if this is where you check in. Yeah, looks like it. Hi, how are you? Good. We have a reservation for site 316. Okay, checking in. See if I can go find my campsite now. She says it's about 1 kilometer in, so this is a fairly big property. Oh, looks like we get to do a little gravel after all. It's hard packed though, so we're good. So let's go find our site. And we got nice weather for now. They're calling for rain tomorrow though. We may end up waking up in the rain, but we'll deal with that then. But at least it's nice we're getting set up. I think it's over there on the right. That's where we're going. Hello. Now, I'm assuming it's down there. I think so. 316 is ours. Okay, you ready? Woohoo! We're going down. We're off-roading. Where are the site numbers? Can you read them? I can't read them. Okay. 316. I think we're down a little further. Pretty cool. Not much demand here. 308, 309. Okay, now I can read them. Told you my eyes aren't the best. Hey, want to give me a push? Don't worry, I'm in neutral. Just push it back. Ready? Okay, push. Oh, she really stuck, eh? Oh, not too hard. A little more. I gotta turn. I want to turn. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Okay, good. That's better. It's a good. And we got this whole field to ourselves. We've got some partial shade. I would have liked to go under that bigger tree because if there's rain in the morning that'd be nice, but that's okay. And I'm gonna get unpacked. We got our fire pit here, so we think we're gonna throw our tent around here somewhere, and then we can move the picnic table up, and we'll have a grand old time, eh? She's getting all settled in, and I got to run back and get some firewood before it's too late. That's right, Kayla. I get the old guy caught. But I did bring you a mattress. So it ain't all that bad. So Kayla got it working. She got the chair working. Tell you, comforts. Now don't lean back too much in it. If you break it, that's it. We're sitting on the ground or the picnic table, and all your comfort is gone. Okay, I can hold my new idea. So it's nice.
Why you look crazy?
Because we have to record every moment of the camping excursion. So she's getting this thing blown up. And I've got my cot in the tent, and I hope to God she's going to fit there. Like this that had LCBO, I could get a couple of beers.
That must be way back.
Oh, there's nothing in Park Hill?
There is LCBO, but they will be closed today, no? Or Saturday.
Oh, they might be open.
They are just down the road.
Do I have to go down the dirt road here?
No, that's okay.
Yeah, okay. All right.
I came through there in the mornings. And
Okay.
It didn't cause anything.
Well, I got an off-road bike anyway.
Say,
Yeah.
You can use it perfectly.
If I can't do it on that, then there's no hope for me. we are. And we've heated up some water and we've put the dehydrated bolognese sauce in it, and it's got to sit there for a while. Then we add some more water to it, and then we heat it up again, simmer it for a bit, and then that should be ready. And then we've got the pasta, which I'm just going to make like regular pasta in the other one, so we'll have to boil that and get that ready, but I'll wait till that soaks a bit more. And I got some more water on for tea. The only way we can get water is we got a couple of bottles, and we got to go all the way over there to that red building, not that red building, the one further behind the red building, way back there, in my flip-flops, which is really hard. And that's to the source of water and fill up the bottles. But hey, life is tough. You just bear with it and you move on, right?
What is this for?
That is to put around these stainless steel cups. Now, I guess if you have like put really hot coffee in them or something, and it's to keep your hands from sucking all the heat out of them or something, or for burning your hands on them. So you put the pasta on the plate. Put the pasta on the plate. Put a little more pasta on this one. And oh, we spilled a bit. Don't want to waste our food or attract bears. Yeah, chicken bolognese sauce. And it looks like it's a little thin, but maybe I put a little hair too much water in, but oh well, we'll have to make do. Spoon it on. I didn't let it sit for a full hour like they were saying either, but it looks doable. Okay. Well, like I say, maybe just a hair less water, but you know, in this case I would thicken it with something if I was at home, but considering we're camping in the wilds of a private park, we're going to try this, Kayla, and see what you think. So we're trying it, and it's okay. A little bit on the bland side, so we're putting salt and pepper on it. Kayla's eating it, so that's a good sign.
I'm hungry.
Yeah, and I guess it depends how hungry you are too. Hey, you see, Kinga? That's how it's done. You don't just dump the coffee into the water and drink it that way. That's just ugh. Mind you, now this, it just slipped off. That's why it looks a little messy here, but it still didn't get into the cup. And you don't even have to wait that long. You just put it in for about maybe 10 seconds with an infuser like that. And at least your coffee isn't all full of grounds. Comes out pretty good too. Okay, so we're just packing up in the morning. We slept in as much as we can, but it's starting to rain as expected, so we're getting everything packed up. I've been working on it for a while. Tried to have some tea, but I think my milk's going a little bit bad, so I tried to taste it, and then now my tummy's not feeling so great, so I thought, well, okay, forget the tea. We're not going to bother with breakfast because we're trying to beat the rain. And great, I just saw a lightning flash, big bolt of lightning come down, lovely. And it's cooler, so it's like a cool lightning storm coming in. But we haven't had any breakfast or even a decent cup of coffee or tea yet, so we were going to do that, and then this is an opportunity to get those rain suits on. So I guess that's what we're going to do. Have a little bite, get the rain suits on, and then try to make it to Lucan. Well, this is nice. Google Maps has got me going on a nice little side route to go and find the Donnelly Museum. Can't get the Android Auto to work today, it just doesn't want to work. It's extremely finicky. Yeah, they definitely got a long way to go with that one. But I can still use my Google Maps on my phone, like most people do. So we're in Donnelly country right now. So you could put yourself back, what, like over 200 years. Oh, 200 years would be 1823, so maybe that's a bit long, but maybe a good 150 years anyway. And this was just some first settler farms around here. The first settlers came in here. They started around the 1850s, and the whole Donnelly thing happened around the 1880s. But it was the late 50s that the first Donnelly couple came from Ireland to escape the potato famine happening at the time. So they came out here in the 1850s and started a farm and started a family. And over time they raised over 7 children. I think it was 7 children. And they started another family business. I think it was like kind of like a taxi cab business where they transported people by carriage here and there. And that business was in direct competition with some of the bigger wigs around town at the time. And that's what started a lot of the conflict. Now the Donnellys also, I think, were reputed to be a rough bunch as well. You know, there's stories, I don't know what's true and what's not, but there's stories about drunken bar fights and all this sort of thing. A lot of, I think even to the point of barn burning. And with the feuds going on and on, the town, which was made up of like the more prominent towns members, were made up of the sheriff, the pastor of the church, which had some run-ins with them as well because of the Catholic Protestant thing, and a few other prominent members of town, formed a committee which is basically designed to get rid of the Donnellys. And first they tried legal means, and that didn't work. So eventually one night they just all got drunk and got about 30 people together, and they all stormed out to their house and banged on the front door. And when the first Donnelly opened the door, they stuck him right through the chest with a pitchfork and then beat his head in right on the floor. And then they went into the house and they got everybody else. When they were done there, they went to another place where one other Donnelly was known to be located, and they just stood outside and they yelled, "Fire, fire!" And so he came out to see what was going on, and they shot him twice in the head. And the thing about it is the entire family was killed, but there was one survivor. The youngest boy hid under a bed or something, and he escaped, and he was the witness. So he knew exactly who all did it, and he testified in court and everything. But because they were prominent towns members, they just let everybody go. You know, the judge didn't want any more hoopla. He wanted to get reelected. You know, we were talking about going up against the sheriff and the pastor and the more powerful people in town. So they just let them all go.
(1880) Almost succeeded. On that early morning, a mob of men descended on the homestead of the Donnelly family, on this road, known as the Roman Line, in the heart of the Catholic settlement where they lived. It is hard to say what still lingers in the shadows of the Donnelly place today.
And then, so they were a rough bunch, even if they weren't fairly killed.
But this is from the stove, came from the Donnelly schoolhouse.
Yep, from the schoolhouse, yeah. Wood stove, don't
we
touch
should get
it.
a horse and try and go by the house.
There's the old couple there, straight from Ireland. They were a rough bunch.
This bed, so we have
Look
reason
how
to
tiny it is.
believe that there was a partition wall and or a whole room entirely here for this bed. On the night of the massacre, their son Thomas was sleeping here, and when the vigilance committee came in, they handcuffed him, to get him out of the way because he was known as kind of the most rough and tumble,
Right.
most scrappy of them.
Yeah,
And
the biggest threat, you could say.
Yeah, and they wanted to make sure he was kind of incapacitated, but they didn't kill him immediately. So after they dealt with him, they moved into the main room here. So I will start with the master bedroom. So this was would have been the master bedroom. James and Joanna would have normally slept here on a typical night. However, the night of the massacre, the little boy Johnny O'Connor was staying over, and so he slept with James in this bed. While Johanna and Bridget, their niece, slept in the other room.
Now he hid behind the bed and he survived, right?
He hid
Or
under
under
the laundry basket, behind the laundry basket, under the bed.
Right, so he was behind that on there and they didn't
yes.
find him.
Yeah, because he was 10, so he was able to hide pretty well.
Lucky for
I will
him.
get to that,
Okay.
that part in a second. There's more to that story.
Okay. Well, we watched the whole movie, so.
Yeah. So here's the British room. Typical room. The expression "sleep tight" comes from these type of like beds.
Oh yeah, with the ropes.
Because the tighter it was, the more comfortable the sleep it was.
So this is where more bedrooms were?
Yeah, we have reason to believe that there will probably be more bedrooms up there.
Yeah.
We can't confirm exactly because obviously the only way that they knew what the house looked like was from the foundational stones after it burned down. And there's no foundation for upstairs.
Well, you really wouldn't be able to escape running up here anyway.
So this is just a time period estimate of upstairs, basically.
So here we are. We've just parked in front of the St. Patrick's Parish. And so this is older than the 1880s because this is where the Donnelly bodies were brought to be buried after they were massacred. And the sign just goes on about Catholic and Protestant Irish coming in. You can freeze frame and read that if you want. That's what we're talking about. And so, like what I said was just a rough summary of everything that happened, and then you can draw your own conclusions as to who was right, who was wrong, and all that kind of stuff. But for now, we're just gonna head on in to the Donnellys. And yeah, you just watch the YouTube documentaries or come to the museum and watch the movie, and it sort of gives you a good view of what all happened with the Donnellys. Better than I can tell. So don't try to correct me for being incorrect on historical things or whatnot. So this is the second gravestone that was put up, because the original gravestone was removed because they had the word murdered underneath each name. So now they just did this. And it's interesting how they got this one guy buried so close to them. But this whole plot is where all the murdered ones are buried. So the remaining members of the family erected this when in the late 60s they made them all come up. But you notice on the stone that they all died on the same day, February 4th, February 4th, February 4th, February 4th. So this is where they all ended up. So we got James, John, Thomas, Joanna. I'm just seeing how many? 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 men, their wives. I thought there was more than that. Oh yeah, no, the other ones are on the back. William, Michael, James, and Nora. So all of them were killed. Well, actually, no. Michael died later on. Well, he died in December. James died in May. And Nora died February.
The ones on the back were buried later.
Yeah, so I guess the ones that were murdered, at least that are buried here, were James, Johanna, John, and Thomas. Oh, and Bridget as well. So that's a shame. It's a stain on Canadian history. Regardless of whether they were right or whether they were wrong or whether they were good or bad people, it doesn't matter. Definitely this is the reason why vigilantism is not the way to go. Yeah, I would. It's just a little tiny town, so I don't even know if there's anything there. But check it out. Pharmacy. They even have drinks.
Rainy days don't seem so wet.
Is there a beer store or a liquor store?
Stormy nights don't stay. From the moment that we met, you were worth the wait. Oh, this could be the best thing that I'll ever know.
There's a shell.
There's a shell. Can you